My ex is coming to my birthday. Be cool or it's over. That's what my wife, Lena, said to me one week before the party. Her tone sharp, almost daring me to object. I remember standing in the kitchen, coffee half sipped, staring at her like I'd just been told my loyalty had an expiration date. Be cool, I repeated slowly. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Yes, be mature for once. We're all adults here. Adults. Right. Lena and I had been married for 6 years, together for almost 9. In the beginning, she was magnetic, warm, quick-witted, the kind of woman who could make a whole room turn toward her laughter. But as time went on, her charm began to feel like a weapon, a way to disarm, manipulate, and control. When she told me about her ex, she didn't mean some casual fling. She meant Ethan, the man she'd once sworn she'd never get over, the one she told me about when we first started dating, with that wistful look in her eyes that made me wonder if I was just a consolation prize. So yeah, when she said he was coming, I felt something twist inside me, but I smiled anyway. Sure, I said, I'll be cool. And I meant it, just not in the way she thought. The week leading up to her birthday, I noticed small changes. Lena started spending longer hours at the gym. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, now stayed glued to her hand. At night, she'd roll away from me, face lit faintly by her screen. I'd ask what she was doing. She'd mutter, Pinterest, decorations. But I already knew, so I started planning too. Her birthday fell on a Saturday. The house was spotless, candlelit, soft jazz playing, guests slowly filtering in. I played the part of the devoted husband, refilling glasses, laughing at stories, smiling like my world wasn't about to implode. Then he arrived. Ethan, tall, fit, perfect smile. The kind of guy who looked like he'd stepped right out of one of Lena's daydreams. He walked in with flowers, and she lit up like I hadn't seen in years. They hugged. Too long. I saw her close her eyes, breathing him in. My stomach turned, but I stayed still. Ethan, I said, extending a hand. Nice to finally meet you. He grinned. Same here, man. Lena's told me so much about you. Of course she had. The night dragged on like a slow-motion train wreck. I watched Lena hover around him, laughing at every joke, touching his arm, filling his glass before anyone else's. Even our friends noticed. At one point, my buddy Mark leaned over and whispered, "You okay, man?" I smiled faintly. Better than ever. Because I had a plan. 2 months ago, I'd found an old iPad Lena used to use. It was synced to her email. I hadn't meant to look, but one new message preview caught my eye. It was from Ethan. Can't wait to see you again. Wish things were simpler. Attached. A photo of them at some hotel lounge, his hand on her thigh. The timestamp? Just 2 weeks after our anniversary trip. That night, I'd saved everything. Screenshots, messages, receipts. I'd been waiting for the right moment. And here it was, near the end of the night, once the drinks had loosened everyone up. Lena stood up to make a toast. "I just want to say thank you to everyone who came," she said, voice glowing with self-satisfaction. "It means the world to me, especially you, Ethan." The room erupted with laughter and a few awkward claps. Then she turned to me, "And my husband, Evan, for being such a good sport tonight." I raised my glass. "Of course," I said evenly. "I mean, what kind of husband would I be if I couldn't handle a little reunion?" She smirked. "Exactly." I smiled back. "Actually, speaking of reunions, I've got something to share too." I walked to the TV and mirrored my phone to the screen. The room went silent. The first image appeared, a text thread between Lena and Ethan. Flirty, explicit, unmistakable. Gasps filled the room. Then came the photo that hotel lounge shot, her hand resting on his chest. Lena's face went pale. "Evan," she whispered. "Stop." But I didn't. I let the messages scroll, the ones where she called me boring, predictable, a paycheck with a pulse. Her friends looked horrified. Her parents, who'd been sitting near the back, stood frozen. Finally, I turned off the screen and looked right at her. "You said be cool," I said quietly. "I think I managed that." Then I set my glass down and walked out. She called me for days after that. Dozens of messages, long voicemails filled with crying, pleading, anger. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The video of that night, recorded by someone at the party, made its way online. By the end of the week, she'd been publicly humiliated. Ethan disappeared, and Lena's job suspended her pending review. As for me,